In a moment, the President of the United States, Abraham Lincoln, will say a few words.
My fellow citizens, today I take office as the President of the United States with the firm purpose of keeping this nation united. We are in difficult times, but we must not forget that what unites us is stronger than what divides us. Liberty and justice are the basis of this republic, and only by working together we can improve and preserve this country.
Hello, let's pause here. I'm Colombia. I'm a historical figure representing the United States. I bring education and symbolize modern technology and progress. I'm going to explain the context of US at that time. The right role was intended to unify the country, but had to pass through Kansas and Nebraska, which were not yet states. To address this, Congress decided to create those territories as states. But the real issue was that the country was divided by the Missouri Compromise, the South allowing slavery, while the North did not. The new states were in the middle, so the key question was whether they would permit slavery or not. Ultimately, the decision aligned with Northern ideals and exclude slavery.
Let us not allow difference to tear us apart. The greatness of the United States depends in our ability to come together in the face of adversity. As one nation, we are stronger and more just. It is time to heal, to reconcile, and to move forward toward a future of peace and prosperity for all. God bless America!
Lincoln, your words are an insult. You talk about unity, but what you're really asking for us is to destroy our way of life. For us, freedom means the capacity to decide our destiny, and we will never accept you dictating to us how we have to live. I will never permit it.
Shut up!
Today, the future of this nation is divided. The North and the South, divided by their belief, have reached an age. Here, the causes of the division will be exposed, for justice, truth, and history to judge.
We are not traitors, but patriots defend our way of life. The Deep South had no choice than succeed to protect our life, rights, and sovereignty. The federal government is not supporting more the states, and the North, with its industrial strength, doesn't understand our agriculture economy. This war is not just about slavery, it's also about the right to govern ourselves.
Mr. Davis says he defends rights, but he's actually defending slavery. The section is unconstitutional, and the Confederacy based on oppression and slavery can't stand. This fight is about freedom and morality, not just states' rights. The Union must stay intact.
Not everything can be solved by peace. We fight not just for slavery, but for our autonomy, culture, and cause. If pretending the Union means destroying our way of life, we will fight for our freedom.
I prefer peace, but if I need to enter war, I will do it. Slavery must end.
The fate of this country is in your hands. The South has chosen succession for its economy and autonomy, while the North fights for the Union and the end of slavery. What will decide the future of this nation? Slavery is challenging and complex topic. During that time, the situation with enslaved people was particularly difficult. Many slaves escaped from the Confederacy to the Union and began working as laborers. Emancipation also allowed African American men to enlist as soldiers. Another crucial point is that when President Lincoln referred to the country, he meant the entire nation, including the South. However, the South didn't recognize itself as part of the country and failed to acknowledge the problems at hand.
For the situation of the slaves and the courage to fight for what is right, I declare emancipation. This will free all the slaves in the whole country, allowing them to fight and join in our troops.
Meanwhile,
I can't believe it. Lincoln announced that we are free.
Yes, but Jefferson Davis refused. So he said that the Confederation is an independent country, and what Lincoln said will be not taken into account.
My dream is to escape to the north, to have a better life with my family.
So let's escape to the north and fight for our freedom!
Let's go quickly. Let's go.
run.
Hello friends, here you are welcome. Here you can work and fight for your freedom.
Okay, this is just what we want.
This war is not only for the difference between the South and the North, it is also for the end of slavery. It is for you.
Let us for freedom!
People told me that you wanted to talk with me. What's happened?
We want to maintain slavery because we really need for our labor needs. And freeing slaves could be dangerous for our way of life.
Okay, and what do you propose to help to the cause?
Five civilized trade wanted to support the Confederation in order to maintain our slaves.
Okay. We have a treat. So you can send your delegates to the Congress.
Since men went to war, we took over the business and the farm. Here in the North, many of us, women, have answered the call joining the United States Sanitary Commission. We tend to wander to heal the sick and try to keep the hope alive between so much death. We are strong, but the war demands more than we ever expected, and the soldiers are exhausted. They have lost friends, family, and we are facing with illnesses that we cannot control, but we keep fighting for them and for the Union. In the South, our men have gone off to fight, and we have taken over everything, the farms, our homes, and now the hospitals. We don't have the resources of the North, so we take the wounded soldiers to our homes. Every day I take care of more and more men whose life this war is taking. Every day here seems worse than the last. But we keep going for them, for our family, for our home, and for what we believe is our freedom.
After the conflict, women's rights began to transform. Access to education and career opportunities expanded. Property right legislation advanced, and most important, social perceptions about the role of the woman in the society start to transform. Women were not only recognized for their work during the war, but also laid the foundations for the greater equality and participation in society.
We are at a crossroads, even though we have clear advantages. A bigger population, a wide rail network, strong international trade, and growing industry. We are still struggling more than we should. It's frustrating and confusing, but it's time to change our approach. We cannot rely on our advantages alone anymore. We need to be more aggressive and decisive. My new plan is strength forward. Attack with all our strength, using all our resources, and accepting all the codes. It doesn't matter how many people get hurt or which side they are on. What matters is keeping up the pressures and not giving the enemy a break. This relentless strategy is our best chance to break the deadlock and shift the balance in our favor. It's a calculated risk, but it's the kind of risk we need to take to win this war.
Despite our advantages, the situation is not easy. We have very capable leaders and well throughout the strategies, like those small but strategic attacks we have been carrying out. Plus, we are fighting on our own soil, which gives us a deep understanding of the terrain. However, we can't ignore the reality. We need more support, especially in terms of resources. I am considering making a deal with England to start trading. They would supply us with the goods that we need, and in return, we provide them with our textiles that we use to produce in the north. This deal could be crucial for our cause. With England's support, we could improve on our position and have better chance of success. Thank you.
One eternity later.
Mr. David, I understand your proposal and the urgent need for supporting. However, there are two reasons why we cannot accept it at this time. First, the Confederacy is not officially recognized as an independent nation, and without that formal recognition, we cannot enter into trade agreements with you. Secondly, England prefers not to become directly involved into the war. Accepting the deal could drag us into the conflict, which is more turning into a global war. We want to avoid that. We regret about the situation, and I hope you can find a solution with the current circumstances.
By spring 1865, the Confederacy was collapsing as major ports and cities fell. In April, they abandoned Petersburg and Richmond to join General Johnston, but it was cut off by Grant. An eventuality surrendered, and the Civil War ended. Now, I leave you with Lincoln, who is going to announce his post-war measures.
After the war, I pushed for the 13th Amendment in order to end slavery, and worked to ensure that the state returned to the Union. I created a strong sense of belonging in all the inhabitants of the United States. I promoted industrialization and centralized powers based on Hamilton ideas, but always guaranteed autonomy to the states. I made the difficult decision to suspend habeas corpus, which is the right to a fair trial. Finally, I support the Pacific Railroad Act in order to create railroads in all across the country.
As the Civil War ends, I, Colombia, look toward a hopeful nation. The Union is preserved, and the slavery is abolished with the 13th Amendment. Through the war's toll is great, we now face the challenge of rebuilding and uniting our nation. Let us honor the sacrifices made by working together to create a strong and just nation and union for all.